Good news, everybody! I can't sleep again. Oh boy. It's 5 a.m. and the air is actually breathable now, but still can't sleep. So here I am, trying my luck again against some kids from Russia. Uh, I don't know about anybody else, but I kind of had enough of this summer. It's yeah, it's not even that hot. It's not about being too hot. It's about being hot for too long. I mean, we're into the second month of really hot weather, and that just, I don't know why, but I just can't support it, don't support it. I'm too old for this, etc. Here in Europe, we're not used to 30 plus degrees Celsius, of course, uh, for that long. I mean, we had heat waves. Almost every summer we have heat waves. Okay, for 3 days it's 30, 35, maybe 40 degrees. And then that's it. You have normal weather for the rest of the summer. But now we had like 3 weeks of really hot weather, and now 3 more weeks. So, hmm. Maybe because of that stupid shipping thing, that huge transporter ships use cleaner fuel and they don't generate those toxic clouds that reflect the sun. So now the sun can hit the water and heat it up or something. I don't know exactly what it does, but I believe that's true. And yeah, some parts of the planet are way hotter now than usual. But the funny thing is that nothing changed. We just use cleaner fuel for ships. Oh boy. So yeah, this I don't think it was intentional to cover up the effects of global warming with bad fuel. I mean, that's kind of far-fetched. But maybe somebody thought of it and intentionally conspired. I bet that's the right expression. Conspired to achieve this. So now when we use cleaner fuel, we really know we see how bad it is. So yeah, maybe we need to do more and more quickly because the situation is worse than we thought. So unless we want to start polluting, or we have a volcano eruption and it fills the atmosphere with soot, with ash, and blocks the sun rays, unless one of those things happen, we have to do something about uh, not global warming. That's a stupid way to put it. Just make cities more green. And by that, I don't really mean efficient and electric cars. That's not the main thing in cities, at least here in my city. It's the heat. So they chop down all the trees, we barely have any parks, and the rooftops and the asphalt and stuff, they get really hot. And that's the, I think, the main problem here. And also we have bad insulation on buildings. That's for that ruins the lives of people inside, unless they want a huge electricity bill with the AC. So yeah, put more shade on cities. I think that would be the first step that can be done with low tech. I mean, you don't need high tech stuff for that. You just put some vegetation or solar panels on rooftops, and that's it. You don't need skilled work for that. You just plant some stupid, not even trees. You can plant grass if you want. Some uh, heat resistant grass. Yeah. And that's it. Some watering systems that spit on the plants from time to time, and that's it. It doesn't even have to be like in soil. You don't have to create a soil on the whole roof of a building. You can just have pots, potted plants, and that's the safest thing. You don't have to water it as much and reduce evaporation somehow. I mean, not somehow. They know how, but I don't. There are simple tricks for that. So, yeah. And then the other things, that's just icing on the cake. To switch to EVs, to have solar panels, wind energy, and all that. Getting rid of fossil fuels. That's a very important step too, I think. Step two, like, it's not that urgent, but we better do it this year or next. But the thing about the cities, that needs to be done right now, today. Reduce the heat that's captured by the buildings and streets. That's a major problem. And our beloved mayor, I don't know why, he declares streets okay, car free, no cars allowed in the center on some streets, but they also chop down the trees. So I'm just speechless when he does almost everything right. 1, 2, 3 electric car chargers, e-bike lanes, this, that, the other, excellent, perfect. And we also chop down the trees. Okay, that's interesting reasoning there you got there. That's interesting. It's almost like you're making a deal with the devil. The devil gives you everything except happiness. Just like that. Stupid negotiation with some company or something. I don't know. Maybe it's just the architects or civil engineer, whatever the title is of the guy who designs these cities, not cities, but the streets in cities. Who makes the projects? I mean, God bless them. They are doing almost everything right. But chopping down old trees and putting a stick instead of it. I mean, yeah, they officially increased the number of trees. But yeah, instead of a giant tree that covered 2 blocks, they put in a stick in the ground. Or 2 sticks, which have like 4 leaves each. That's not that's not how you count green zones. The giant trees gave shade for hundreds of people, and those 4 leaves maybe for 2 ants. So you just don't know nowadays. What people are thinking, these politicians. But yeah. at least here they get everything like 95% right. And that's something compared to our previous mayor, who we had 20 years ago, 30 years ago. That was like a racist. I don't know how to say that, but he was pure evil. He hated the fact that our city was mostly Hungarian, with Hungarian heritage or something really weird. So he intentionally sabotaged every project. He didn't play well with investors. He couldn't attract any companies, any investment at all, and he was intentionally bad. And the Romanian people liked that. I don't know how he was re-elected like several times, and in his last mandate, that was really funny. He started renovating all the streets in the city. In the last days of the campaign, he started construction everywhere. Like every street. On credit, he doesn't care. Started things with credit, and yeah. When the elections were going on, and when it was over, construction stopped. And then, fortunately, the new mayor got funding from the government to finance the loans and actually continued the renovation of streets. And that was kind of a weird situation when you don't know if the guy was really that evil and he wanted to give the next mayor a lot of problems, or he actually thought maybe, I'm on the way out, let's just kickstart all the projects that I've been delaying, let's just start everything and give the other mayor a good chance to do things right. I have no idea, but at least that's how it turned out. It just jump started everything. When the mayor quit, I mean not quit, he was voted out fine. And ever since then, the city is a lot better. Like the best city in the country, almost. What was my original point? Oh yeah. So that the mayor is doing really good project. That was the whole point. And he probably has to thank this other guy that hated the citizens, basically. Really weird.
Already moving. Dire structures are fortified.
I don't know what I should buy. I'm still really sleepy. What do I need with this guy? I mean girl. Why does it make this Robin Hood? Should also have a male variant. Let's get one of these. Wards. Maybe some more mana. And yeah, I don't have a town portal. So yeah, the thing about my city is that it turned the corner and it's really good now, but it took a lot of corruption and reallocating funds and all sorts of tricks that were not really legal or moral. But I'm kind of glad that things turned out the way they did. it's kind of okay.
Try this on for size.
Right now they are paving the main street. I made a couple of YouTube videos about it. It's a complete mess, but as before, it's going to lead to great things. I mean, before it was full of potholes and not really potholes, but those I don't know what you call them, like really uh, pattern bumps that you can feel
Have an arrow.
really hard in a bus, for example. Probably in cars too. But yeah, that constant vibration. So now, after repave, I think they almost finished repaving.
I go.
And yeah, now it's just a dream. Like on every new street. I mean on every new road.
I'm way ahead.
It's just like on a cloud. The trolley bus can press the accelerator to max and just go up the hill. And you don't feel a thing. That's really nice. And that's how many streets are in the center, the main streets. This was one of the last streets that had to be repaired.
Already moving.
But yeah, it caused a lot of mess because all the commuters come here through that. So commuters come in from yeah, I think it's 4 directions, 4 main roads
My point.
to the city, and they can't really go. If somebody has to come in from one direction, that's where he has to come, because if he has to go around, that's like half an hour or another hour added to the
Arrows.
to the
Your bottom tower.
daily trip,
Of
daily
course.
commute.
I run like the
So
wind.
that's not really feasible to make people go in an entirely new direction. So those 4 main roads have to be open all the time. Even now when they paved it, it had to be open. 2 lanes at a time
I go.
they could work on, and both directions had to be open. There's no alternative. So that's just one of the features of this city. Has to be open.
As the arrow flies.
This. Why is that guy? What is he doing?
I gust onward. Your top tower is under attack.
I want to give him a healer. Hey, hey, bozo. Oh boy. If you're a bad player, you should know it. That's how you get better.
Already moving.
If you know you're bad.
Dire structures are fortified. I'm way ahead. On it.
So yeah. Also the bosses. The mayor did everything really well.
You've got
But
my
from
wind
time
up.
to time, there's a concert or something, and they modify something in the routes of the buses, and you didn't hear about it for some reason. And you're just waiting there in the station. Why doesn't this bus come? You look at the official website, it says nothing. You look at the official website's news articles, and in the news articles you find out that, oh, we have these concerts, and for 2 weeks the buses are going in an entirely new route. That's just funny. And also, the interesting thing, I don't know why they did it. They didn't do anything like this before. Like right now, we have bosses at night,
On my way.
during the weekend all night, and on weekdays only till 2 a.m. And there was only one route before. Now there are three.
Structures are fortified.
So one route covered like most of the city. It went around, picked up everybody, and went around all the major areas.
Try this on for size.
So now they separated it into three. So three buses, three routes, and uh, and our preferred bus now doesn't go where it should
Bottom tower
before. Now we have to switch buses. If I have to go to my girlfriend or she has to go home or something,
under attack. Time to
it's
fight fire with fire. Cold wind.
yeah, that's fine.
Your bottom
We have to switch buses. That's really stupid. And also the night bus, it's called 25N. And the normal 25 kept the old route.
is burning.
So you're kind of used to the 25 going around and every place you want.
Dire structures are
It's still going around, but when it turns midnight, or not midnight, 11 p.m., then wait, he's going on a different route. Why? Well, because it's an N. I don't know how. It doesn't make a huge difference to the schedule, and I bet they are going to change it back because it's unnecessary complication. But yeah, that really sucks. We have to sign a petition or something. I don't know what we have to do.
as the arrow flies. My feet fly.
But right now, just run.
I go.
Run, 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 run.
Your top tower is under attack.
Yeah,
Could ignite any
they are all top, and I'm alone top. Okay, I'm giving up this lane.
Top tower's gone down in flames.
Come on. Load up. Load, load, load. And get... which one? This one. Oh, I should have gotten some shoes. This is not fair. They are grouping up. And we're stupid. Look, they are 5 in the mid. And we can't kill them. They are focused on X when they should kill this guy. Troll War Crapper or whatever. And they are all die. This is over. This is over. They are idiots.
I gust onward. The enemy's top tower is toast. Your middle tower is on fire. Wild winds gotcha.
So that's how you should kill X.
I go. Here, have an arrow.
Oops. Well, you miss some, you do some. Hmm.
My feet fly. Incoming.
Oops, that was too much.
On it.
Almost.
Like the wind.
I just have to go home. Okay, let's get this one. Yeah, get the boot or something.
On my way.
So anyway, cities. All cities have to become greener, cooler. Except in cold climates. There they must get warmer.
On it.
But yeah, even if you don't plant a lot of trees, a good insulation, maybe paint the roof white or silver that reflects the
Your middle
sun's
tower is
rays,
under attack.
maybe a solution. And you have to do that today.
Your middle
Insulate the buildings and have AC. If you do the installation right, then the electricity bills will be really small. If you have heat recovery ventilation,
Your top tower is burning.
which gives all the thermal energy of the outgoing air to the incoming air. So if it's cold inside, it will remain cold. If it's hot inside, it will remain hot. The way you prefer it. That's the way it stays. And those things are like 95% efficient. The efficiency loss is calculated in a really stupid manner with the heat recovery ventilation. They deduct the power consumption of the fans. I I never I never would have thought to do it like that. That's a really stupid way. Because the fans have to pull air through the filters and do it like that. But
Of course. I run like the wind. At them.
yeah, when you actually they put 80% efficiency on the
As the
heat
enemy
recovery
falls.
ventilation stuff. And that's really misleading because the actual energy, the thermal energy you save, that's above 90%. Some some of those gadgets do it even better, close to 99%. And for some stupid reason, I think it's only in the EU,
The enemy's bottom
they have to deduct the consumption of the fan, which really makes zero sense. That's zero logic. Because people should know that the actual heat inside the home is insulated with this almost 100% insulated. And then they deduct the fan. That's another 50 or 100 watts. That's such a stupid thing to do. Really stupid.
Your bottom tower is on fire.
Let me see. Am I being racist here? Okay, good. Yeah. Plenty of Russians here.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is burning.
So yeah, back to the whole what do you call them? Zero energy buildings,
Like the wind.
zero waste buildings.
Raining arrows?
That's really up to the installation and heat recovery ventilation, and yeah, that's about it. It doesn't really matter what you use as a heater or a cooler, because when you have good insulation, you need like 10% of the heating and cooling power. 10% of a bad building, badly insulated building. So I really have a problem with architects who do these things. The people who design the thermal part of the building, not the structural and safety and things, but the thermal part. It's still in the laws
On it.
that, oh, the polystyrene insulation above 10 centimeters, it makes no sense. It's I don't know what they call it, something of diminishing returns, or it's cheaper to pay for gas than for the natural gas
My feet fly.
than to pay for the insulation, and that's a dumb thing to say. You're an engineer, you don't say that. That's really dumb. When you're talking about insulation,
Tower is toast. I run like the wind.
there's no limit. I mean, there is a limit, but not exactly what you would think. You can put insulation like up to 1 meter thick to have an impact on the energy requirement of the building. If you put like
Tower is under attack.
half half a meter thick insulation, that enables you to
Your top tower is on.
live without any heating or cooling. Just without it. You don't need any.
My feet fly. Your top tower is
And that's a really important thing to emphasize. That you can be without heating and cooling in a modern home that's well insulated.
fire.
You just need a couple 100 watts for the fridge and for TV, computer, whatever.
Fortified.
And that you can do with a few solar panels and a battery. And then your apartment can be truly zero.
Arrow flies.
Yeah, you call it zero emission, but that's not really the point.
I go.
Emissions are not the point, I think. That's one way of measuring it. You should measure it as impact, with zero impact. I mean, the construction materials and everything you buy for the house, that has a cost, that has an impact. But after you build it, there's zero impact.
Reap the whirlwind.
Your body heats up the rooms. Few people know that the human body is like 500 watts when it comes to heat. It generates like 500 watts. And that's enough for a well insulated room, or even for more rooms. Interconnected rooms. 500 watts is a lot. And if the heat loss is practically zero, then you can walk into a zero impact home, and in like 1 hour, 2 hours, you heat it up just by your presence. You would maybe eat a hamburger,
Have an arrow.
some meat, that will heat it up nicely.
Attack.
Digesting meat is harder, so that's why I say meat. That generates
Run like the wind.
more heat.
My quiver is empty.
So yeah, don't cheap out on insulation. Whenever a specialist tells you that you only need 5 centimeters of insulation because blah 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 blah, some engineer somewhere lied, then yeah, just tell him you're stupid. Please put 20 centimeters at least. And also the windows. There's no logical limit there. I mean, how should I phrase this?
Dire structures are fortified.
The difference between dual pane window with gas between the two sheets and the difference between the 2 and 3 or 4, there's almost no difference in cost. So you want 4 sheets of glass, that will insulate better. There's no argument against it. Oh, you really don't need 4 because we're cheap and we don't want to put in the 4. Put it in, what the fuck? You don't know what the climate's gonna be like in 10 years or something. The building will last for 50 years. Even more, maybe. If you build it right. I mean, concrete has a 200-year life, usually. But let's say 50 years. The building, with, especially the glass part, the windows, will last a good 50 years. And you're saying, oh, right now you'd only need 2 sheets of glass. Why? Why not put in the extra 2? There isn't enough sand to make glass? Just put in the better solution. And yeah, then you don't even have to hook up a natural gas line. You just have some electricity for cooking and stuff, and vacuum cleaner and hair dryer, whatever you need. That will require, probably, if you don't want to invest a lot, that will require the grid, power from the grid. But everything else you can do with 1 or 2 solar panels. You won't just need a TV, a couple of computers, lights. That's easily done with like less than $400 for a home. And you have all that power if you plan it right.
Here, have an arrow. Radiant structures are fortified. I run like the wind. Already moving. Like the wind. It's not time yet.
Yeah, I'm getting out of here. They are all coming for me. Oh boy. That was X. I heard his X. X is X said that X has an X.
You catch my point? Is it raining arrows? Of course. I'm way ahead.
So yeah, don't cheap out on insulation, don't cheap out on windows. What else? And also the doors. And
As the arrow flies.
the other thing that's a really good lesson is to have separate ACs for every room. So central air, that's the dumbest thing Americans ever invented. I think it's here in Europe too, in some buildings. That's the dumbest thing ever, ever, ever. That has zero redundancy. If it goes out, it gets a defect. The whole building is without heating or cooling. And Oh boy, why don't you do anything? Look, that stupid... Ah. Okay, so back to the AC. Don't use central air. That's the dumbest thing. It's really expensive to maintain. And it always... Uh,
Dire structures are fortified.
it's active for the whole building, which you don't need. Maybe one or two rooms are not occupied, are not used. There you can switch off the AC, save some power. You don't need central air. That's the dumbest thing ever. And yeah, it's also inefficient. That's a dirty little secret nobody wants you to know. Like this guy made a video, the 8-bit guy, that's what the YouTube channel is called. I know his name, but not now. I once knew his name. He's a nice guy. He measured how long he can stay cool in the summer in Texas in 42°C heat with just solar energy and batteries. So he made an experiment on a really hot day.
The whirlwind.
He can resist for how much was it? 18 hours just off his solar, like 7 kilowatts, and a couple of mobile battery banks. EcoFlow, or what's the other one? Anchor, or something like that. There are plenty of brands offering that now. Big lithium ion batteries, a couple of kilowatts each. Yeah, kilowatt hours. Sorry.
Try this on for size.
Kilowatt is power, and kilowatt hours is energy or capacity.
Like the wind. Here it goes.
You must not confuse the things. Yeah, that's nice. This is a shit team. So yeah, the guy had a small office building, like 3 rooms I think, and a house, both powered by just 7 or 8 kilowatt solar panel system, and a few batteries. That's the most important thing in my opinion, because if you use those batteries from Anchor or EcoFlow or whatever, you don't need to install them by an authorized person that has to get authorization from the city and from the utilities and stuff. You can just plug them in. Imagine that. You have an electrical appliance that happens to store energy, but it's a standard electrical appliance. You can just plug it in. Imagine that. How far-fetched science fiction is that? That you're allowed to plug it in. Wow. So you just plug everything in, and it can be done by anyone who operated a hairdryer in their life.
Here, an arrow.
Like a hairdryer. That's how I qualify things.
I run like the wind.
Can you plug in a hairdryer without burning down the house? You can install these batteries. And there's also very good tutorials on it, so
Like the wind.
for dummies. Like what gauge wire to use.
This on for size.
I mean, not wire, cables, because you're using power splitters, or what do you call them? You don't have to run wire inside the walls. I mean, you can, but it's not mandatory. You can use extension cords for most appliances, except maybe vacuum cleaner and hairdryer. Those two are thousands of watts usually, and they do need um, higher gauge wiring. Maybe you move them closer to the battery bank. So yeah. And the other thing about these batteries, you should watch these videos. They are really informative. They do have an inverter inside, so You don't need a separate box
Your bottom
usually,
barracks have fallen.
but there are separate boxes if you want more power.
Your middle
But
towers have
basically you don't need a separate box to charge the batteries of solar. You just plug in the solar panel into the battery box and that's it. You have uninterruptible power.
Your middle barracks have fallen.
That's kind of awesome.
Your middle barracks
But yeah, the prices need to come down for a bit. It's relatively new technology. They are out. They've been out for just a couple of years. So prices are still a bit high. I mean, just imagine a window AC unit for a window that requires also zero installation. Um, that is today at like 300 bucks. That's how it costs for a large room. 300 bucks and it can cool and heat for that much. So yeah, these power banks need to come down like under, they should be like 200 bucks each and now they are 1,000 I think, or 800. They need to come down because they do have a lot of redundant components inside, which can be optimized a lot to have less components,
Your
less
middle tower
parts,
has fallen. Put
and
tower is
ultimately you'll end up with a really simple, really durable and cheap
better you have the
product.
fire extinguisher.
But yeah, it will take some time, like 2-3 years I think, should be
You should
enough.
just be cremated.
Haha, but we suck.
Radiant victory.
Let's report all these guys. So yeah, about simplifying things. These battery banks with the inverters inside that can charge from solar, they really don't need some of the parts for everything. For example, a hair dryer or vacuum cleaner, they can run off DC current if you redesign them, or use a car AC that exists today, that technology. A car AC, for example, a car vacuum cleaner, or everything that's designed for a car. They run on DC power. So basically, you wouldn't need the inverters in the battery. You can go completely off grid, and then you don't have to have 120 or 230 volt circuits at all. For nothing. There's no reason. You have a passive house that barely requires any cooling or heating. Maybe for hot water you need higher amperage, higher power. But for everything else, you only need DC. Your TV uses DC, the computer uses DC, whatever you can name at home can use DC. So you don't need a lot of inverters, adapters and stuff like that. That's just wasted resources. Basically most of the house can run off let's not make it 12 volt, that's really dumb, but like a 48 volt system that the car industry is trying to adopt right now, to go from 12 volts to 48. That will be really good for houses too, because most of the things you have in your room, except for the AC and hair dryer and stuff like that, I mean they can also run off DC, but let's just put them in a different category because they are high power, like 1,000 watts. But your computer is just a couple hundred watts. Your TV is like 100 watts. Your audio sound system is maybe 100 watts. What else do you have in your room? Lights are like 10 watts each. Like an average light bulb, LED light bulb is 10 watts. Maybe 20 if you're using the highest power ones. So everything can work off 48 volts. Slightly redesigned hair dryer and vacuum cleaner and AC. Those need some minor redesigns, and maybe the motor inside, the DC motors are, I think, a bit more expensive, but they don't have to be. So somebody has to come out with a really cheap design, cheap and efficient design. Maybe it's already out there, but companies really have to get their hands on the patents and start making them. And yeah, you can go 48 volts and plug everything, not directly, but in theory, directly into the solar panels because they are also around 50 volts. So, yeah, a lot of things can be eliminated once people have solar and batteries. Then you can start downsizing the grid. I mean, not downsizing, but keeping the current uh, capacities. You don't need to grow anymore. You just fix what you have, the grid, refurbish, change the wires, but with the same gauge, and you're good. Everybody will have 48 volt systems at home, and yeah. Well, you do need, but that can be solved in other ways. You need to charge your car. That's a bit more complicated problem, and I think ultimately that will use also 48 volts. I haven't thought that through yet, but in theory, but yeah, you have to make a separate system for car charging. Maybe have the whole roof of the garage covered with solar panels. That's like one, two,
5 seconds remaining.
that's like 8 kilowatts. That should be enough
It's
for
your
charging your car. 8 kilowatts. And yeah, that has to be a separate system. But the point is that it can be a separate system. You don't have to connect everything to the grid. That's my main point. You can have a separate system just in the garage, like right now you have to use 230 volts AC. So without redesigning the car and its charger. So yeah, that's something that's a bit harder to do, I think. So you have to uh, install an inverter and what else was I saying? Inverter and solar panels and possibly a battery in the garage for charging the car. But you can always use public charging. That's the better solution from an infrastructure standpoint. If you just need a quick charge, you have to go to a public station, public charging station. That's the best way right now. In the future, there could be breakthroughs in solar panels and batteries also, and then these things won't be as much of a problem. Right now, for example, solar panels are around 20 something percent efficient, meaning that uh, the sun the sun's rays have like 75% more power that could be harvested, but the panels are not harvesting it. They can't. Just like 25%, 22, 25, something like that. And if you improve that to maybe 50% or 80%, which can be done, most electrical components are already 80% efficient. That's not a dream. That's not science fiction. Like turbines are 80% efficient. Water turbines or wind turbines, I mean at their optimal RPM and stuff. So no, not always, but you can optimize things, and then electronics are above 80% efficient when things are optimal. So what's my point again? Yeah, those breakthroughs could fix things, because with today's technology you have to spend a lot. You have to install a lot of solar panels, which may be a pain in the butt, but it's still worth it. Even today, if you can make the investment, it's totally worth it to have energy security. You're not looking at gas prices, you're not looking at electricity prices, because all your energy is on the roof. You don't need any more. I mean, you can use the grid, and you should use the grid, but most of your energy can come from your solar panels, and then you're not interested in energy prices. It's just irrelevant to you. Maybe if you want to sell your energy back to the grid, then you're interested in energy prices. So, yeah, good insulation, 48 volts, heat recovery ventilation. Yeah, those are the keywords for all these technologies to make better houses, better homes. And yeah, that's all I had to say today about this.
Good enough.
Hey, why is this not active? Frost arrow. What?
Arrow fly.
Oh, it is. Okay. Now it's showing.
I'll cut a knot with your name on it. I go in silence. Arrow fly.
Yeah, I need to rant a little more about hydrogen. Yeah, the things you discover, I wouldn't thought about it at all until I watched this video about Japan and how they don't want to be dependent on China for resources. And that's where the whole idea of hydrogen came from. It's not practical. It will never be practical. It's the dumbest thing ever. But, there's a huge but. Some places on Earth don't want to be dependent on Chinese resources for batteries, inverters, and all the stuff. So the Japanese developed these hydrogen systems that are shit. Don't get me wrong. They are total shit. But they could work for Japan. For Japan. Only for Japan.
I'll take that.
Because of political reasons, not for any technological reasons. Just political. Nothing else. And that's kind of sad that yeah, in a simplistic manner, yeah, it's kind of sad that two neighbors, large countries can't get along, can't can't hash these things out. They should. Collaboration is always better than having an enemy next door. I mean, the thing Russia is doing with Ukraine. I mean, not exactly the same thing, but the conflicts are there. Japan wants some parts of the fishing zones, and China wants them also, and they can't seem to have an understanding. And that's what Japan is afraid of, that if they are dependent on Chinese resources, then China will say, nice fishing area you got there. You want our minerals? Then give some of those fishing rights here. Or they won't even ask. Like I just did. They'll just take it, because what you gonna do? You need our batteries. You can't do anything. So there are these stupid political things, and I think that's the stupidest thing that people have invented.
Your middle tower's on
Because for most things we kind of understand each other. We Europeans willingly buy Chinese products, no problem. And the Chinese take our money. So
Your middle tower is under attack.
but some people are against everything. So I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. I mean, just imagine a democratic China.
I'll take that.
Can you imagine that? Seriously. People that have always been told what to do,
Way ahead of you.
they now can have their voices heard and they can vote. What will they vote? My suspicion is that it would be a lot like in Russia. Like, Russia is, in theory, some sort of democracy. They have votes. But the people will probably vote in fear. And they'll vote for the current leadership. Always. And that is not really the true intentions of the people won't be heard. I mean, most people want to live in peace and harmony with their neighbors, have trade, make good products for your neighbors and buy good products from your neighbors. And
Your middle tower's on fire.
the political systems just ruined that
Sentiments as well.
for centuries. I mean, here in Romania,
My bow is
we're still struggling with communist reflexes, or what do you call them? Mentalities, communist mentalities. Imagine if China would have a revolution, and
Tower is under attack.
for 30 years at least,
Enough.
it would be a rudderless country, or how do you say it? Like rudderless, because nobody could hold the power and steer in either direction.
That was my
Maybe it would be a good thing, we don't know. But
Dire
on the
structures.
international front,
Your middle tower.
United China is much easier to deal with. They have much better success if it's united, even under dictatorship, even with all the issues
good enough.
with human rights and stuff. A united China with a strong leader is better from most points of view, except for the few that in which it's not. So
Secrets of the wood are way
yeah,
ahead of you.
I was ranting about this in a previous video, that the main problem, and also something you have to plan for, is that things don't happen all at once in all countries. If there's a new technology invented, some countries adopt it now, some countries will never adopt it. They'll stay in the old ways forever. So, ideally, for example, solar panels, it already should be mandated that you have to put solar panels on all rooftops. I mean, not even on rooftops, instead of roof, because solar panels are strong enough, they can replace roofing tiles, no
So
problem.
be it.
Why aren't we doing that? Governments are funneling money into all sorts of stupid projects that bring barely any value, really. It just increases some ESG score somewhere. That, oh, look at me, I planted a tree. It died, but I planted it. That kind of projects. Instead of that, you could have solar panels on every roof. I mean, have a global mandate.
Very well.
Every roof should have solar. End of story. And you enforce
That
it.
was my thought.
Have the Chinese make it, the West pay for it, and the poorer countries like in Africa.
Arrow.
I mean, there are richer countries there too, but in general, I think it's fair to assume that they need help.
Battle.
So, with Western money and
I go in silence.
Your middle tower.
Chinese manufacturing, we could have solar on every rooftop on Earth.
Your middle tower.
And they can accomplish that somehow. I mean, people are afraid of a global government and stuff like that. But there can be some alternative that maybe a company or an NGO does it, not the governments. It can be something parallel that has nothing to do with the governments. There should be NGOs that fight for solar on every roof.
Arrow.
I mean, there probably are, but with limited success, because right now it's kind of expensive,
Your middle
a
tower.
lot of regulation. But if all that goes away, new technologies come, then yeah. Maybe all it takes is will. Maybe you can find sponsorships, and private money can fund these solar projects if they are really cheap. and not over-regulated like they are now. So yeah, I'm just spitballing here. People probably thought this out like 50 years ago. I'm not saying anything new, just some common sense, hopefully. And yeah, hopefully this will evolve a lot in the coming years. All the energy market, and we become a lot greener.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Feel the frost.
And not that fake green. I hate fake green.
My sentiments as well.
What people call green nowadays,
Your middle tower is under
I mean green hydrogen.
Lose your cool.
There's nothing like that. That's stupid concept. There's nothing. Hydrogen is not green. Wherever you're using hydrogen, you're losing 70% of the energy. And that can never ever ever be considered green when you're losing that much of your energy. It's ludicrous. It's absurd. Any engineer will tell you. If you're losing more than half of something, that is not efficient. That's just basic logic. Hey Ma, look how efficiently I poured this milk. Only half of it went on the ground. That's hydrogen.
That was my thought.
So stupid. So half of the milk is on the ground and half is in the cup that you drink. Half you waste. That's efficiency in these people's minds who are championing hydrogen.
Agreed.
Why can't they just be honest? Why can't they be honest? Is it so hard? Hey, we're switching to hydrogen because China.
Your top tower
They
is
can
under
say
attack.
that in Japan. The people will accept anything, any stupid excuse, because they are,
I go in silence.
what do you call it? Not stupid, because they are kind of smart, but they are supportive. That's it, supportive. They want to support the government and the economy and everything. They work their asses off. They work themselves to death.
Onward.
Not because of the companies, it's because they want to work. And that's their choice. It's good, but they shouldn't lie.
Under attack.
They shouldn't lie to the people. That's my main concern. They lie to the people and to the world. Now, our politicians say, hey, look how hydrogen is this good and wow, it's very good in Japan. Let's adopt hydrogen. No, 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 no. We don't need hydrogen. We need hydrogen for fertilizer,
Tower burns to the ground.
for certain applications when you have to burn gas. That's where you have to use hydrogen. But for energy storage, no. Simply no. Rant over. So let's just play. I think I'll shut up now. The sun is coming up. Oh boy.
To battle. Feel the bite of frost. My time has come.
Man, nobody told me that the speakers were too loud here.
Way ahead of you.
I don't want to use headphones. That's the stupidest thing with YouTubers and streamers. I hate headphones, especially when it's 32C inside.
Bow is drawn.
And it's not 32, but 28. And it it gets sweaty in 10 minutes. If I wear it for 5 or 10 minutes, it's just sweaty. And yeah, I can't wear headphones in the summer. In theory, yeah, there is some noise filtration or whatever in the microphone's driver, but if the speakers are too loud, then it picks up the sound. Right now it doesn't, because I silenced the speakers some more. Hopefully you can hear a change if it was worse before. Yeah, what can I buy here? Let's get this one. And a couple of these ones. And let's win. I don't know why I haven't been paying attention. My mind was elsewhere. Talking to you guys about important stuff. I mean, that's what I do usually. When I'm playing, I'm thinking about important stuff. Oh crap, I don't have anything for that. I should have something. They have wards somewhere here. If that tree guy can just teleport and kill me. I should report him. He's being where's the tree guy? Here. It's okay. It's not a smurf probably. Or a good smurf who can disguise himself to be incompetent. He pretends to be incompetent and then beats everybody. Let's just get some wards. Oh, and I don't have any money. Crap. I need wards. I mean, really everywhere. Maybe even here. No? Okay. So I had a problem here. Let's get some wards there. And here. Let's see where that guy put all the wards.
So be it.
Here. No?
Your top tower is on fire.
Here.
That
No?
was my thought.
Here. No?
I'm under attack.
Here? No. Okay. Oh, here! Yeah. I thought so. They have both wards here. Look at those dumb... They are going from side to side. This is lost and all because of them. They are just stupid. Really, really dumb. They'll be reported. Maybe just the other team. They should have the decency to suck.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Your money or you're dead. Quiver.
Yeah, I really need the scepter.
Arrow, fly.
The enemy's top tower's gone down in flames.
Yeah, I'm gonna die here. I don't really care. Oh well. At least I got one tower.
Faster than an arrow's flight.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Attack. I'm under attack.
Crap.
You will never know the mysteries.
Yeah, this
Your
is
middle
lost.
tower is burning.
I have to report this Russian. I want to report all the Russians.
Your middle tower burned to the ground. Dire
Let's
structures
draw
are
Z on the
fortified.
map. They like that.
How came I here? Arrow. Find your target.
Now I'm not interested anymore in winning. I just press
Very well.
press
My sentiments is with silence.
look. They are dumb. They are just dumb. Each and every one of them. They can't pick a target and destroy it.
Only you can.
They attack each hero for a bit, and they are all survive.
Bottom tower is
That's the dumbest thing you can do. In Dota, you have to search for the weakest. I mean, the closest and weakest hero. You have to kill that. If you killed it, then go and attack another one. But look, they are crazy. They don't know the basics. And not just Dota. This is in every real-time strategy game.
your middle tower is under
Yeah, I think this is real-time strategy.
Feel the frost.
RTS. I mean, you don't build things, but I look at it as RTS. Look, I'm attacking this and they don't want to touch it. Why?
Your fate is sealed.
your middle tower is on fire.
I don't really get it.
I seal you all in silence. Onward. Into the fray.
Look, he's getting killed.
Forward. I go in silence. Death comes silent.
Yeah, I don't care anymore. This is bad.
That was my thought. Regeneration. Feel my cold embrace. Attack. Feel the bite of frost. Very well.
Your bottom tower is burning.
Where are the creeps?
Fair trade. Arrow, fly.
Your top
Arrow,
tower
fly.
is burning.
Yeah, I need some more gold for this, and that's it.
Feel the
If I can't beat them with the scepter, then
Your top
Probably.
tower is under attack.
I mean, from my point of view, but the others can.
bite.
If they
Frost.
want, they can start playing.
Your top tower is under attack.
My bow is drawn.
Your top tower is burning.
Let's drink some Cory.
top tower burned to the ground.
It's interesting how they don't market these cheap drinks.
Arrow, find your target.
They have artificial sweeteners, exactly like Coke and Pepsi and all that, Sprite, 7-Up.
Feel my cold embrace.
But I mean the light versions of those.
Forward.
But the price difference is huge. I mean the taste is okay, price is excellent, and what? What happened there? That was stupid. Let's just send this guy to shop on the other side of the map because they are attacking here. Okay. Hopefully I can get the scepter. I think I got it. Ah.
Your top tower is on fire.
Your top now when you're winning.
Your bottom tower is on fire. Your bottom tower burned to the ground.
I'll need a hand free for this. I'll cut a
Your
knot.
bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is toast.
For a deathbed.
Dire structures are fortified.
They should have
Your bottom barracks are under
bought
attack.
back. Now it's over.
Your bottom barracks burned
Let's
to
report
ash.
some of these guys. Oh well. I had fun. I had fun talking.
Doesn't bother me if it all burns down. Radiant's courier has been killed.
Here again. Death comes silently.
Your middle tower is burning.
I shall nip my enemy. Silence afflicts thee. Quiver. I see death.
Look, they are not paying attention. They left that guy alive. That's unacceptable. They are really dumb. Look, they run into each other in the forest. Yeah, I'm out. I mean, I was out a long time ago, but I'm out. Let me just dream of snow.
I'll just retrieve my arrows. Your fate is sealed.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, yeah.
Your top tower is under attack.
What's this? Ice shall nip my enemies.
Your top tower is burning. Your top tower is under attack. Your top tower is on fire.
A day's wage.
Rashawn has fallen to the Radiant.
As deep
Your
as
top
forest
tower is
shade.
under attack.
Arrow fly.
The enemy's middle tower is toast. Dire structures are fortified.
Arrow fly. Your fate is sealed. Is silence.
Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is on fire.
Faster than an arrow's flight. To battle. My sentiments as well. I'll cut a knot that you need. I see no odds. Chill out.
I see my woods again.
Yeah, I'm not buying back. Do that. Oh boy. My back still hurts. That sucks. And I'm not even that old yet. So that's kind of funny story. I really don't get any back pain. This is maybe once a year I get it. Get like some really mild or really bad, but like once a year. So today, I mean yesterday I was sleeping and I kept reaching to my back. Hey, what the heck is there? Something pointy, something sharp. What is there? And there was nothing. It was just hurting by itself.
Way ahead of you.
I mean, that's a shame.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, good game. GG. Goodbye, GG.
Your middle tower's gone down in flames. Your middle tower's gone down in flames.
Let's report this guy. He's probably a Smurf Russian. And that other guy. No, just the tree guy, I think.
Someone looks like death. Your ancient is under attack.
Oh well. I think I have at least 2 reports left. And my strategy from now on is to commend everybody that I can't report. So it's either too positive or
Your ancient is being
how do I say it
incinerated.
right? If I can't punish them, I reward them. It's either one or the other. I don't leave people alone.
Radiant victory.
It's like in politics. You're either with us or against us. There's no middle ground. So. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. This is the biggest Smurf, and it can't even see. That's nice. Smurf in the game. Papa Smurf. Oh, just one report. So yeah, I have to report all command all the others. I don't care if they were bad or good. I'm not like Santa Claus. Even if you're bad or good, I give you chocolate. Except for one that I can report. He can go to hell. Okay, that's it then. I'll see you again at yeah, sometime. My one viewer should come back whenever I'm streaming. Okay, bye bye now.